Alright, this is a film just to review a few changes I've made as I'm putting the construction drawings together for the project. In this film, really, we're going to be talking about this corridor through here and all the way up through the back door. This all began with me trying to correct some issues with regard to the modification with this angled wall here, the doors in it, and the existing cabinetry in the office. One of the issues was this is a bit of a contrived solution here that was put together just for preliminary planning purposes, and now I'm trying to make it look correct. I don't like this little jog here. You can tell that it's kind of put together. And additionally, we were so tight that the edge of the door when it's open comes right up to the edge of this door opening, overlaying its casing. I see that as kind of an incorrect arrangement. So what I did I kind of tried to fix this up and go from this situation here with this issue and that issue to this here. You can see the margin of the door is pulled back now, and we have a much more trimmed solution in here. The first major impact being the depth of this jamb increases from about 5.5 to about 8. That change takes us from this situation here with the funny jog in the cabinetry to this. This is all put together from this is just the door to the front hall. This is all put together from your existing cabinetry. That's that center style right there where everything would get trimmed. This one, center unit, would get fixed up to look like this one. And this is a much more natural looking transition. This just dies against that. You can see the thickness of the door jamb here. And then at the jamb outside, this is where we were with it overlaying this, and this is the improvement with that coming back. The next major impact then was that this wall here had to move back, and so we lost 5.5 inches in the sunroom. That's probably the critical thing for you guys to consider. We also lost a couple inches on the width of this door, which I don't think is worthy of worry. Possibly worth mentioning is when we lost that 5 inches, we did pick up a little more distance here, pulling this refrigerator back a bit from this wall. We can have our light switches for the kitchen, some of them here. The next thing after that then is impact at the mudroom area, where we went from 6'3" wide in this here and 4'5.5" between the edge of the bench and the wall to 6'9.5" and 4'2.5". This got smaller because what I used this extra space for, because I knew it was slated to happen, is to locate this radiator in behind the bench. And so that bench situation where we used to have a bench with panels on the back of it, but if that radiator's back there, it really needs some space, some room for the air to flow, as that radiator guy was explaining to us. And so from this, we went to this. And the radiator's back under and behind this. This is a hollow spot up in here for the air to flow in through here and force that warm air out into the room. And then a few other changes while I was at it. Messed around with these windows, the lights in these windows. That window actually got a little wider out of it too, because the bench got a little more narrow. It's still 3 feet in here, which is more than enough for what its purpose is. Additionally, I should mention, when we went here, that upper cabinet then went from a 12-inch deep to a 21-inch deep cabinet at the top. So yeah, this is a short 12-inch deep cabinet here, and in this, it still looks short, but it's actually 21 inches deep inside. So the other changes then, I also modified this refrigerator to have panels. That all arrived me at the final part of this exercise and film, which was whether or not to just go ahead and bring the rest of this out here, bring this out to flush with that as it was in the past. And that's what I did. This seemed like a good idea. We're going to replace these windows anyway, so resize them, so this margin wasn't that critical in my thinking compared to the benefit at the inside, where we went from this to that. Picked up an extra hook up here, a little more margin for these jackets to hang down, or whatever you have hanging for these hooks to hang down without being in the road of Grace's little door there. So that was the extent of this film and the extent of the work. I'll just take you back to those floor plans here. Oops. There it is. So that's the major impact right here. We lose 5 or 6 inches in the sunroom. But I think all things considered, that's probably a worthwhile thing. But let me know.